This episode is brought to you by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. I just forgot what I was doing halfway through that.
It's all right. You're doing
episode
great.
of Says Who is
There you
usually
go.
what I say. That was the thing that threw me. Anyway, that's our Patreon where pretty much every Sunday, except, yes, the last few, I've been dealing with the death of my mother. Apologies.
Nobody's mad at you, Dan.
Everyone's mad at me.
Absolutely no one is mad at you.
Okay, well, that's good. Anyway, my goal is to be back on track with that shit this coming Sunday. So hopefully we can make that happen. That will be for you at patreon.com/sayswho. You get that if you give it the $5 or $10 a month level. That $10 a month level gets you a sticker in the mail every single month, death of parents or not. That shit's coming. Let me tell you, that shit went in the mail yesterday after expediting it. But then the shipper, the sticker people who are awesome, they threw it into FedEx a week ago. And then it went on this little drive. FedEx just took it around the country. It went to Iowa, then it went to Missouri, then it went to Champaign, Illinois. Then it finally came to me. Just got a little tour. They just took it on a drive. So that was nice of them. Anyway, those went out yesterday. You can always get into the next month's stickers when you give it the first of the month. So, like, if you were to suddenly be like, man, that sounds great, I like stickers that go on a little drive, I'm going to sign up today. That means you'll get the August sticker. That's how that works. Anyway, patreon.com/sayswho.
Hey, everybody. It's me, your old pal, Maureen, and I have written some of the books. Death at Morning House. If you like anti-fascist, anti-eugenics, queer, fun, straight up murder mystery, Death at Morning House may be for you. It's a murder mystery. Or the upcoming You Are the Detective, The Creeping Hand Murder, the dossier book where you get a case file and have to solve the murder with the solution in the back, is coming if you're in the US on September 16th. And if you're on the UK, it's like the 24th, I believe. You can pre-order it anywhere, but if you pre-order with the Mysterious Bookshop, New York City, we will personalize it for you. And actually I have to call them because people had questions about how to get the personalizations done. So I will make sure everything is clear that we are going to personalize the hell out of those.
I love it. If you just want to grab some books for Maureen or otherwise, you can always go to kickbezosintheballs.org. That's our own little bookshop.
Hey, Dan, can we stop and congratulate the man?
For his nuptials?
Oh, yeah. His tasteful and entirely deserved wedding party.
I don't recommend having parents die. But if they've got to die, doing it during this lead up and then actual wedding of Jeff Bezos is awesome. Because I today saw a news report about it and I was like, oh, did that actually happen? I had no idea.
There was one photo of his wife, Lauren, at some part. Like, it was just outfit after outfit, obviously. And it was a dress that was, okay, I'm going to stand up.
Okay, Maureen is standing up.
It had like a super tight corset here.
Yeah.
That was basically metal. So it looked like she was super, super squeezed in, and it looked shiny and it looked way tight. And then this big kind of cowl around it.
Okay.
And then like a lots of fabric on the bottom. But the fabric was like a sofa from the 80s. It was really weird. It was like upholstery fabric with like a heavy, large paisley on it.
Yeah.
It was, and it looked like she was being squeezed, but then this like giant sofa thing was coming out of the top. And I was staring at it for so long, and I'm like, it looks like she's wearing a collar bomb made by Etsy. Like, it's just nuts. And it's in the wrong place, and it makes no sense. But then it also was so big that her arms were out like kind of hunched out like this, like she was doing little froggy arms. So she couldn't put her arms down because of this giant sofa fucking thing. And then she had the collar bomb middle, and then this kind of like, you know, the rest of the sofa on the bottom. It was baffling. I don't think anybody understood it. So, and it probably cost $1 billion. But
Yep.
anyway, I write books, kick cases in the balls, and don't wear collar bombs, I guess, is my advice.
I don't even know what a collar bomb is. So that
collar bomb
Oh, no.
is a device that you put around someone's neck.
Okay.
And it's like a big metal collar and it's like you can.
Oh. A bomb collar.
Correct.
I thought you were using some kind of fashion lingo.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It looked like a collar bomb.
Okay.
As in, if you ever heard the story, I think they made a documentary about it called Evil Genius, about the collar bomb murder.
I don't know anything about this.
Holy shit, that's an amazing story. It's like two complete weirdos, like genuine, full on, like one guy is like, if you went, you 70 years old, but evil.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is maybe me, 70 years old and like out of her mind and evil.
Okay.
And decided to commit a series of like, just wanted to kill all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of took this guy hostage and he thought he was part of the plot, but he wasn't. And they had him rob a bank and he did it kind of jauntily, like with a Charlie Chaplin stick, and he took a lollipop. Okay. And then they made him do like a chase around town. He was a pizza delivery guy. But in the end, they put a collar bomb on him and they blew it up. Okay. And it turns out that she had a body in her freezer that he had to help her. Like, it turns out there were all these murders, but it's a collar bomb murder. It's wild. It's one of the weirdest stories ever. Anyway, books, quick business and balls, etc.
And, we're 6 minutes into this episode. If you want to buy some things from us, you can always go to merch.sayswhopodcast.com, where we've got shirts and mugs and bags and everything else that you could possibly want. Or if you want to buy something from me, you can always go to shop.dansinker.com, where I have patches and stickers and some shirts and, just do the thing. Just do the thing.
Just do it. It's 2025. Just do it. And start spreading the news. Hey, Danny boy. Welcome to New York City, the city that's fixed. We did it today. We have a non-clown mayor running in old New York. Everything is fixed here, Dan. It's great.
I'm sure you guys are going to fuck it up somehow.
Dan, there is a line of trash bags, 3 high, that runs the whole block right near my house. Probably our trash is in there. It has been there for 4 days.
At least it's been nice and cool, right?
Like a sandbag barricade, but just trash. And it only is because of you that I even noticed it. I don't even notice these things.
The scales have been removed from your eyes.
I was like, man, that line. I'm like, I asked Oscar, I'm like, every night, because we take Dexy out for this kind of fun. It's been so hot. We take her out to play in the dark, like at dusk.
Yeah.
And there's a baseball field that we can get into and we can chuck a ball and she can run. And she's made a dog friend named Maggie.
Okay.
But we pass the trash every day. And also a pile of needles. I'm like, oh, look at that pile of needles is really growing. Look, it's a great city and we fixed it. We did it.
Congratulations.
Jealous? Are you jealous now?
Not really.
Come on, be jealous of us.
I mean, we did this like 2 years ago, but it's cool. Glad you caught up.
Different. We're finally fixed. We did it. Welcome to Sezu, the podcast. It's not a podcast.
It is a coping strategy. I am Dan Sinker.
I'm Maureen Johnson. I have something to tell you, Dan.
I want to hear it.
2025 is the year of doing the thing.
You're doing the thing.
And you know what I've done?
What have you done?
I've started sewing lessons.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yep. I've just done my second lesson.
Okay.
And I took my sewing machine with me for the second one.
Oh, fun.
I did a class for the first one. And then I was like, actually, I want it's worth paying for the one-on-one training and taking. So I took my machine across
Okay.
town
Okay.
and I hemmed a really complicated dress.
Nice.
Like we chalked it and measured it and like did all the, worked through all the stuff. She, she worked through the, the peculiarities of my new machine, which works great. Which is my mom had a machine sitting around she wasn't using, and she took it over to her sewing machine guy who tuned it up. And now I have a machine because she was
Now
like,
it's yours.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, that's fun.
So I'm learning, and I just ordered my sewing supplies. So I need to like chalk and a seam ripper and all that kind of basic stuff. So I'll have my little box of supplies.
You need a novelty pin cushion.
I got the tomato.
Okay, good. That one's
I got
a good one.
I got the basic. It was 79 cents for a little tomato. So I just was like, I just need the little tomato. But I think I will continue to take classes. Yeah, because I really like it.
Well, that's great.
So yeah, and the hem looks great. Like it looks like it came with the dress.
Dude.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
It's cool, right? Like I found that it took an hour and a half to measure, chalk, cut, iron, and pin the hem because it was so massive.
Yeah.
This dress has a hem that seems to go on for, it must be 8 feet of material.
That seems like a big leap up for lesson 2.
But I did a private, so I worked with this woman who her thing, like you can get teachers, and her specialty is upcycling and redoing clothes, like using old materials and upcycling. And I only booked it for an hour and a half, but I had to bump it up to 2.5 hours because it was an hour and a half of pinning and chalking.
Jesus.
And ironing. And, measuring and ironing and pinning. But I will tell you that it was so like, this is what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about news. I'm not thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
But just chalking, measuring, stitching. It was great.
I enjoy sewing. I've not done a lot of sewing in recent years, but so first of all, we used to be a society, right? And in middle school, I took a sewing class. Like everyone had to take a sewing class in middle school. Also a wood shop class.
Yeah, we never had it at this.
Oh, really?
I've never had a single one of these things.
So yeah, we had both, and in fact, in clearing through stuff at my parents' house, I opened a little cabinet, and inside was the little wooden piano music box that I made in 7th grade woodshop class, or maybe it was 8th grade woodshop class. It looked like a little piano and had a little music box inside. And if you lift, it was like a grand piano. If you lifted the lid, the music box would start playing. You know what the music box was? Send in the Clowns.
Oh boy.
Doesn't play anymore. I was like, no, this doesn't work.
No loss.
This doesn't work. But you also had to take a sewing class. And that was probably the most impactful thing I ever took certainly in middle school, probably right up there with any class. 'Cause I totally learned how to sew. And throughout high school, little Dan Sinker made all of his own shorts.
That's amazing.
I know. I would choose weird fabrics from the fabric store and I'd make shorts.
You have always been you, Dan.
I have always been me.
Oh my God. I've always been me is that I've wanted to do it and I just try it and do it badly. So as a kid, I may have said before that my aunt and my grandmother used to have me hem their dresses for like 50 cents.
For tuppence.
So they gave me all their dresses, like their house dresses that they would get at JCPenney, like that look, I don't know if anyone can imagine the house dress. It's just sort of a shift.
Okay.
Kind of a formless, sleeveless thing with 2 pockets in the front. It sort of looks like an apron, but it's just a dress.
Yeah.
And that's what they wore every day with their house dresses. And I hemmed them all for like 2 quarters. And I don't know why they let this 10-year-old hem their dresses, but like someone taught me a hemming stitch and I just sat there hemming dresses. And I would get my aunt Fanny was a great seamstress and had scraps, and she gave me her scrap bag. And I loved getting the scrap bag.
Okay.
Because I would sew clothes for my Barbies. But I didn't know how to sew. So it was just tubes. It was just tubes. I would make them tubes.
Yeah.
Like so many tubes. I was always putting tubes on Barbies. I'm like, here's another tube. Enjoy it. Cut your hair off. Now you wear a tube. But the only time I ever learned any of those skills properly was in college, where I had to take a costuming class, where I had to pass a hand sewing test.
Oh, well, there you go.
I've forgotten all of it, but I did do it.
Yeah, but your body remembers.
I mean, I was always kind of physically capable at this point of like putting in a dart or like, badly and probably with incorrect form, but doing it.
Yeah, but that's fine.
That's where I learned to use like a drill and a circular saw.
Dude,
because in theater, they're always like, well, guess what? You're going to make a wall. And I'm like, how do you make a wall? And they're like, well, you're about to do it. And you just do. And you're like, okay, like that's how theater is. The theater kids are all like, you just get a drill now. You're kind of drunk. Here's a drill. Good luck with your thing. And you just paint all night long.
Yeah.
Dan, I had a breakup in college where I was so depressed that I was allowed, for whatever reason, the head of the theater department just let me hang out in the theater.
Okay.
And paint it for our show.
Okay.
And I hand painted the entire lobby.
Okay.
With like the name of, because you got to decorate the lobby for the show.
Yeah.
So I hand painted the name of the play and like all this like detailing. And I just listened to Robin Hitchcock on a loop and painted. And I can so remember vividly standing there with the paintbrush in my hand, listening to My Wife and My Dead Wife on constant repeat.
I had a little DM conversation with Robin Hitchcock the other day.
He's the great. Was it wonderful?
It was super nice. He wrote a song for someone that I am friends with, and I thought it was her song. And I had asked her about it, and she was like, "Oh, actually, that's Robin Hitchcock's song." So then I was chatting with him about it.
I've also chatted with him, and I love the song Superman that he recorded, and he's like, "Yeah, that's not out, but if you come to the show, I'll like give you a copy." And I almost fainted, Dan, because Robin Hitchcock was everything to me. I can remember, because I was too young to be in the downstairs, because I was not 21 yet, going to see him play, and it was like I went to church. I was up in the lobby with the underage people, and I was getting the shit kicked out of me because we were all scrunched into this like this balcony, and he was playing, and I was just like, Robin. It was so, I can still remember just kind of reaching my arms out, like, and he was playing. I was like, Robin. Anyway, that's what it feels like sometimes. And if I could go back and tell past me that I could access, like today he sent me a message because I said I was going to start naming cheeses funny names. And he said, you're naming cheeses now, Yaysville. And I almost fainted again, Dan.
That seems right.
Because the internet is not always bad. It means you can meet your heroes sometimes.
Yeah.
That's how I met you.
It's true. I'm your hero.
I met my hero, the mayor.
You met your hero, Dan Sinker.
Dan.
Who hasn't been there.
You know how much that meant to me.
I know.
I was so enamored of the mayor. I was so like that. You were the biggest thing in the world.
Well,
I cared so much.
And now I'm just me. So speaking of building things.
Yeah.
The no longer a teen he's living at home this summer. And he is doing a game jam. He's a video game designer. And he had to build, part of the game jam deal is you had to build a controller. Like you couldn't just use a normal thing. And so he wanted sort of a throttle. And he was like, I know, I've got the basic ideas of how to do the like hardware wiring and all of that. And I'm like, that's awesome. How are you building your throttle? And he's like, I'm just going to find some stuff. So he went to like the Japanese dollar store and came back with a whole bunch of random things that he was basically like, I'm going to bodge that stuff together and make a throttle. And he's been trying for a few days. And then finally last night he was all, can you help me figure this out? Because I can't connect these two random things through, I don't know, wishes or whatever he was hoping to connect them with. And so we got there, and I should begin this story with the fact that, yes, my mom died a few weeks ago, and I have spent every possible moment that I am not working sort of attempting to match my sister in speed running cleaning out the house, which is not my preferred method for how to clean out this house. So I was very exhausted and cranky by the time, like 10 o'clock at night, he was like, can you help me out? So I was like, all right, dude, none of this makes sense. Like all of this doesn't make sense. I was like, all you need is some kind of wooden pole and we drill a hole in and we stick the potentiometer into that hole. Like we do not need to get complicated.
Potentiometer?
Yeah, a little dial, right?
Oh.
Because all you really need for a throttle is a dial. Like all it is a dial. You just need a lever to turn that dial, right? He knew all of that already. And he was like, okay. But then it was like 10 o'clock at night, right? And there's like wood sitting around down here, but none of it's right. And so I'm just looking around and I go into our like laundry room and I look in the corner and there's a shitty old plunger. And I'm like, cool. This is exactly what we need. And so I grabbed a little handsaw and I'm just like, cut 9 inches off the top of the plunger pole, drilled a hole in it, smashed the potentiometer into it, and it was like, boom, look at that.
These guys are, he is your son.
Yeah.
No DNA test required.
No.
I made something lovely last night.
Oh, yeah?
I had a thing of strawberries that had been on sale that I got that I hadn't used.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I dragged out, somebody had given me an ice cream maker for Christmas like 5 years ago, and I never take it out. It's like way in the back of our farthest closet.
Everyone has that ice cream maker, I feel like.
It's like a good ice cream maker.
Yeah, it's a great gift that it turns out nobody makes that much ice cream.
I dragged it out. I put the container in the freezer for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then yesterday, all I do is stew up the strawberries with some sugar. I steeped in a sprig of mint from a mint plant, dropped in a couple drops of elderflower water that I had.
Yeah.
Then I chucked in some Greek yogurt.
Yep.
Put it in the mixer.
Okay.
And then I added to the mix a couple ounces of Saint Germain, which is an elderflower liqueur.
Okay.
We have a lot of anytime I see elderflower, I buy it. A lot of
flower action going on in there.
English people love elderflower, especially Oscar. And every time I see something with that flavor, I kind of just have it.
Yeah.
But the alcohol in the Saint Germain keeps it from getting as hard. Like if you put a little alcohol in it, it keeps it from freezing up and it makes it a little more scoopable. And so I made a strawberry elderflower frozen yogurt.
Yum.
With a very light touch of mint and some fresh strawberries in there.
Wow.
It's easy.
Well, aren't you fancy pantsy?
I'm more like a kitchen witch, Dan. I kind of mumble around. I have a plant, put the plant in there. Oh, it's this bottle. Like I just kind of just flitter around the kitchen making things. I like to make potions.
Boom.
Come on over, you guys.
Potion time with Maureen.
I'll make like 1 million ice creams if y'all come over.
I feel like we have an ice cream maker. We've probably been gifted a couple of ice cream makers over the years. And it's always like, this is awesome. And then it's always like, nah, I'm not making ice cream.
It's actually pretty, but you can use a tub of a tub of Greek yogurt and some fruit.
I get that it's easy, except for all of the parts that involve thinking 2 days ahead of time that you need to freeze that bit. And
I have to freeze it. You have to.
My main issue is the thinking ahead situation.
Listen, there's another one that's mango lassi. So it's yogurt, mango, a little cardamom. It's basically like a mango lassi, but it's just you can scoop it up. You'd like that.
I like a mango lassi.
There you go. Well, anyway, this has been Says Who, and it's all about sewing, making controllers, using plungers, using your strawberries, putting in a hem. Everything is positive.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, so this episode has been brought to you by you.
Well, we can keep positive. Look at this. Okay. New York City.
Yeah.
You did the thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna compliment the city of New York.
Thank you.
Y'all went to vote.
Yeah, we turned up.
You had the choice of a real clown, and you said no.
Yeah, we said no.
You went Zoran.
Yeah.
In a big way.
And let me tell you, First of all, that day I was lobbying in Albany a couple weeks ago, and they were all those miserable people were like, "It's going to be Cuomo. It's going to be Cuomo. It's going to be Cuomo." But the feeling on the street here was so palpable.
Yeah.
He went out and he did an amazing campaign.
Oh yeah.
He was fucking everywhere. He walked the street like there was always a presence, and it was real.
Yeah.
It was like, and he's like, "Here's what I want to do."
Yeah.
Want to lower rent?
Yep.
Free buses, like just some stuff you could use.
Bring the price of a chicken and rice from a halal truck down from $10 to $8.
Just like
I saw that, and I was like, that man's smart.
That man knows exactly what we need.
Yeah.
He actually lives here and does stuff. So
yeah.
I will say, I was at Pilates the other day, and because I go at a weird time, I basically get a private lesson because no one else is in the class.
Yeah.
It's just like if you target it right, there's 10 slots, but no one takes them. So you just go in that one. And there was a guy getting a private, and he spent the entire time bitching out loud about it. Like he never stopped.
Of course.
This dude for a full hour when we were supposed to be working, and he was over on the other, I just could hear, and he was just like, and these people have no idea what they're doing.
Just out loud to himself? Was he on a phone
to his
call?
trainer? No, to his trainer. He was getting an actual one-on-one with the trainer, whereas I was like in the class section, and he was like, well, these people, where are they going to? And what he was specifically bitching about was he thinks he's going to get the money from the people on the Upper East Side, but all of those people, they don't have any money. Their parents pay for their apartments, so they're not going to get it. Where does he think the money's coming? And I was like, if your argument is where are we going to get the money?
Yeah.
While you're at your private Pilates lesson.
If your argument is the people that you think have money just have their parents' money, I feel like that's a
Which is why I made a little Instagram video with the music that's like, hey, man, just going to let you know that sometimes you got to shut the fuck up. And this current time is one of those times you got to shut the fuck up.
He ran an amazing campaign. I will say, as a big fan of old graphic design, his shit was fucking tight.
People love it. And people keep talking about it. Like it was just good. It's good graphics. He walked the streets.
Yeah.
And he talked to people.
Yeah.
And got lots of street teams. Lots of street teams.
So he won a one-night knockout.
In fact, he is just now,
yeah,
literally, as of 12:52, he was declared the winner.
Yeah.
With 56% of the vote.
That's correct. So he won on night one. So for a quick review, New York uses a ranked choice voting system, so it can take a while to get to the final, right? And the general thinking, and we even talked about this last week, I remember saying, I think he's going to win, but I think we're not going to know for a bit, right? Which ironically is exactly what I said about the presidential election and was wrong about that one too. But he had enough of a commanding and very obvious lead on night one that Cuomo conceded. And so it wasn't until just today that we learned the final results. The way ranked choice voting works is basically they keep knocking out the bottom people and then going with the second choice of people that voted for the bottom people, and so you just get to two people, and that's what we now know.
Well, actually, there's some numbers in now.
Yes.
Zoran received more first round votes, 432,305. I was one of those. Then Andrew Cuomo received total votes after ranked choice voting.
Yeah.
428,530. That means more people ranked Zoran first than ranked Cuomo anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole don't rank Cuomo thing. That was incredibly effective. That was an amazing thing. But in the finals, you had Zoran with 56%, you had Cuomo with 44%. So he won by 12 percentage points after all of that. Most notably, in second choices, he won 2-1 over Cuomo. So it's
also he has to mention Brad Lander, who got arrested trying to help people in immigration court and was dragged and pulled out by ICE. And he completely threw his weight behind his running mate. they cross-nominated each other, and they worked together in the last days, and they have stuck together as a team.
Yeah, completely. So it is pretty incredible. It has also been very interesting to see how quickly power coalesces against someone now that he has won. You have Cuomo still kind of seeming like he's going to go in and run as an independent. You have Eric Adams already running as an independent, and you have both Republicans and many powerful Democrats falling over themselves.
Oh, foaming at the mouth.
Yeah. About Zoran.
It is blinding.
Yeah.
The amount of like foaming. Even like my dad and his weird friends who came over for poker who don't know shit about New York, foaming at the mouth about him.
Right.
Also,
but like your dad and his buddies, I get, right? But like Hakeem Jeffries, shut the fuck up.
Kirsten Gillibrand, who accused him of like basically supporting global jihad.
Yeah. Like shut the fuck up. But it's so educational to see, right? Like this is a dude whose basic campaign was things are really expensive and maybe they shouldn't be. And maybe we can do something about that. Like that's it. It's not particularly radical, you know? And to see the level that the powerful are like, fuck.
And bitching about how much it's going to cost while they're also broadcasting the wedding of a man who rented Venice.
Yeah.
Who rented Venice, and basically they needed a special airport because 97 private planes came in for it.
Yeah, you know.
Where are we going to get the money, Dan?
But
it's New York. Where are we going to get the money?
Yeah, who knows? It's a mystery, but I'm excited for you all.
You know what?
Point out Chicago did this like 2 years ago.
Listen, man. Look, we're doing our best over here.
Dude.
We're going to have a ballot that's going to be Zoran, Cuomo, Eric Adams, and Curtis Sliwa and his cat.
This is going to end up with Curtis Sliwa and his cat as your mayor. It's going to be an incredible splitting of all votes, and somehow the most shocked person will be Curtis Sliwa. But he and his 16 cats
and
heading to Gracie Mansion.
Listen, Dan, I just need the texts to stop, and they're not going to. It's going to be brutal.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be so fucking brutal and so fucking
I can barely
ugly.
use my phone as it is. It's just the 5 have come in while we've been talking. Yeah.
It's going to be real ugly. It's going to be real ugly, but I think you can probably pull it off, honestly.
I think that there's genuinely, as someone in the city, as part of this, there's energy.
Yeah.
Like people, the guy in front of me was like, yep, I made because they couldn't find his registration. He's like, no, I made sure to register by the deadline, and I was fully there.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, then you can vote by affidavit. And then he's like, I will do it. Let's do this thing right now. People are taking the time to do all the paperwork because they're like, fuck you. I met the deadline. Let's go. Take out the affidavit paperwork. We are doing this.
It's exciting. It's a good thing, and it's nice to have a little glimmer of hope.
Also, now we're also fully being targeted by Trump completely and totally because of this.
Oh, of course.
Meanwhile, Dan, other great things are happening that are also causing my phone to blow up.
I don't know about that part, but just as we sat down to record, the Senate voted and passed the worst budget bill that has ever fucking existed.
Yeah.
I mean, calling it a budget bill feels incorrect. It blows up the budget significantly. It's going to shift billions of dollars from working folk to the super rich. It turns ICE into the largest domestic federal law enforcement agency ever, ballooning its budget more than 13 times. To $45 billion. It's going to throw an estimated 16 million people off health insurance by instituting a shit ton of bureaucratic paperwork into the Medicare system. It's going to dramatically increase premiums for many of us on the ACA. It's going to fuck with gender affirming care.
Shout out to trans friends out there.
Yep.
Can we just say we love you?
Sure do.
Fuck you. Excuse me, not fuck you. Fuck them.
Yep.
You're fucking great. That's what we're saying.
You're fucking great.
You deserve your care, and
sure
these fuckers can all get fucked. We support your care, your lives, what you're doing, sitting there eating Doritos, petting your cat, just trying to live your life.
Just doing your thing.
When all these absolute dickholes are trying to destroy it, shout out to you for
real.
existing and being awesome.
It's
even
all
if you're
true.
being a dick right now, that's still fine.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. We gotcha. I'm so mad. Okay, sorry.
I mean, maybe dial back on being a dick, but you know.
No, you're allowed to. That's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. You can just be yourself, even if you're like having a bad day or something. It's fine. Just be you.
All right.
Ah!
This stupid ass bill is going to destroy the modest gains that we've made in clean energy over the last few years. It's going to gut SNAP food assistance. It is one of those things that, like, I can't even make the whole list. One, because it kept changing over the last 24 hours. Like, they just passed a thing that nobody has read, right? But also because, like, it is just awfulness after awfulness after awfulness. People fucking hate this bill. It polls super badly. And yet Republicans are dead set on getting it through. So the way this thing works, it passed the House, but now the Senate's made enough changes that it has to go back to the House. The House has to pass it. It passed the Senate 50-50. Susan Collins, Tom Tillis, and Rand Paul voted with all Democrats no. J.D. Vance, a little fucking weasel, now little couch fucker, broke the tie. Remember when that was a thing? That dude fucks a couch.
That guy can't even order a goddamn donut.
He sure can't. But he did break the tie.
Still, one of the greatest 2 minutes of internet is Haley Joel Osment playing him trying to order a donut.
I mean, the original is incredible too.
But it's so good. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. It's a very funny performance.
This now goes back to the House. If it doesn't pass the House, that's only because super conservative shitbags want it to be even worse than it is. So, you know, that's great. But it has opened another rift between Elon Musk.
Can I ask one question before we get to that?
Yeah.
What are the odds in the House right now?
Oh, I'm sure it will pass. They will bodge some shit together and get it through. These are all chicken shit motherfuckers.
Honestly, 12 times this morning you've said the word bodge to me.
It happens. My brain is barely functioning.
I think it's because you're in such a state of cobbling things together.
Yeah, that's true.
You're like, bodge this, bodge that, bodge. This'll work. Put a plunger in it. Fuck it. Yep. Who cares? Let's go. Get in the car. Just shut up and get in the van.
It's true.
Well, the lovers are fighting.
I mean, they're really fighting now. So this bill has opened a big rift between Elon Musk.
Yeah. We knew that round 2 was coming soon. We were sort of setting our clocks for it, and here we are.
Who stopped snorting ketamine long enough to go on a Twitter rampage about the bill, is now threatening to form a new political party the day after the bill passes.
Mm-hmm.
He later doubled down, saying that lawmakers who backed the bill, quote, should hang their head in shame, adding, quote, they will lose their primary next year if it's the last thing I do on this earth.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I mean, the problem is, can you imagine the fucking
Elon party
weirdos that end up running in Elon's?
Yes, it's like, gonna look like that picture of the Wizard Society from Arrested Development, who are holding up a sign that says "We demand to be taken seriously," while dressed in their stage magician clothes.
Jim Jordan versus Cat Turd.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway.
Dan, we actually live here.
Yeah, I know. Well, Trump responded by threatening to revoke all of Musk's government subsidies, posting, quote, Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far. And without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. To which Elon then responded, cut it all now. And today,
drugs. Mm-hmm.
A reporter asked Trump, Quote, "Are you going to deport Elon Musk?" Trump said, "We'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies." Maureen Johnson.
Don't just say my name like that. You can't just say my name like that. And after that, it is Dan.
What?
We are in month 7.
The fuck?
Can I just tell you what my dreams have been like?
Yes.
Not the night before last. Oscar was like, "Hey, you okay? You were screaming in your sleep."
Oh no.
Then last night,
Yeah.
I dreamt my cousin had a baby, but it wasn't a baby. It was a small, tiny crocheted thing with a face. And it was just this big and it weighed about an ounce.
Oh no.
And I was making jokes and I was like, "Oh, we actually have to take it to the hospital for our heart transplant." And it was going, "Help me." So we took it to the hospital, this little thing. And all my friends were like, everybody from my class at my high school in our uniforms, we all had to wear our uniforms still. So we were all around the room with the little tiny crocheted thing with a face that was going, "Help me." And the doctor took it back. And then the doctor came back, was like, she was this woman. She was like, I tried to save it. It was going well. And then she got so upset that she was eaten, like she collapsed into the floor and turned into a puddle of water inside of a bag with goggles floating in it, that I realized she'd been taken by a demon. So I took down this bag of water with goggles floating in it. I started shouting in it to it, go, "Demon, demon, release her, release her." At which point the bag exploded, spilled over the floor.
Yeah.
And a hole developed. And I was like, "Uh-oh, I summoned a demon." And then a castle of butter, like a gloopy castle, started coming out of the floor, chimneys first. And it was like gloopy. It was like made of wax or butter or something. And everyone was there. And I remember saying, "This is really weird, guys. I never expected to say this, but all the Nazareth people, we all have to start saying Hail Marys right now." And everyone started saying Hail Marys. And I was like, the castle is coming out of the ground and I have to save everybody, even if I take on the energy of the demon itself. And I started grabbing gloopy, buttery handfuls of the castle turrets going, I'll take it on. And then I woke up. I was also awake like 2 hours of the night, just sweating. So I was like, God, my sleep was really weird last night, Oscar. I think I need to sleep in another half hour. Anyway, how is it with you?
So now I'm going to go into the dream world because you just reminded me. So last night, I also have not been dreaming well, but my dreams are less intense, I would say, than that.
What do you mean, intense?
But they have been extremely... they're very lucid dreams, right? Because I'm not sleeping well, so I'm always sort of drifting in between asleep and awake, I would say. And so last night, I was having a dream. In the dream, so I was in England in the dream. And in the dream, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a dream. And also in the dream, I was like, yeah, I think this is a dream, but you are actually in England. And then and then the dream would kind of continue a bit, and then I would be like, I really think this is a dream, and I'm not sure I'm in England. And then my brain would be like, no, you're definitely in England. You're good. But here's the crazy thing. So I woke up just enough to be like, I need to write this down. Because in the dream, I was in London for work, and I was confronted with a like Cirque du Soleil-esque show. And I was like, oh. And then I kind of woke myself up, and I was like, I got to write down the title of the show. And then I went back to sleep, and I forgot. And then I checked my phone this morning, and there was a message from myself to myself. And it just says, "Goal on, a celebration of sport featuring Wayne Rooney." Yeah. And then it all came flooding back. It was this like Cirque du Soleil-esque show about soccer. that featured one of England's kind of most famous soccer players who was extremely good, but also really well known for being very grumpy and angry all the time.
Meanwhile, I'm clutching at a buttered demon castle, trying to take on, and I was like, I'm going to go into the depths of hell, but I need to take it on while everybody around me in my high school uniform is chanting Hail Marys.
So we're doing well.
Are we okay?
No.
What's happening?
Not.
I feel like I feel like my dream is about right for the time.
I mean, your dream is definitely about right for the time. I can't quite explain why Goal On, a celebration of sport featuring Wayne Rooney, was such an important part of my head. But that was so I was in this internal debate about like, okay, maybe the show is not real, but I'm definitely in London.
Yes.
And then I'm like, I don't think so. I really think you're at home. And all of this is unfolding while also waiting in line to buy tickets for Goal On, a celebration of sport featuring Wayne Rooney.
I watched a doctor turn into a plastic bag full of water and goggles.
What?
And then I shouted into the bag, Dan, for demons to release her. Just into a bag. It was kind of messy, dirty water. Just kind of had some stuff in it.
Yeah.
Looked like a shopping bag, but with floating goggles.
Perfect.
And then I summoned a butter demon castle. Dan.
It's going great.
Yeah. Am I on ketamine? Are we all on ketamine? Like, what's happening? It's like we're now all is that it? Are we on like a ketamine simulator? Like,
maybe.
Is this like where they're just like, this is what it's like? Imagine we want you to experience how we experience the world.
Maybe they're just pumping it. I mean, the thing is, all these fuckers have been convinced of every possible conspiracy theory.
Big Balls is back.
Big Balls is back.
Big Balls is back.
Since we recorded, Big Balls both reportedly left the government and then came back to the government.
Yeah. All hail Big Balls. He's back.
Who knows the actual status of Big Balls? But to go back to it, so government is basically being run now by people that believe in chemtrails and people that believe in, every possible conspiracy theory you can come up with, including, like fluoride is in the water for mind control and shit like that. But what if they're putting ketamine in the water? Maybe that's the whole deal.
I would believe it at this point.
Yeah, maybe that's the whole deal. Maybe we're just all on it now.
By the way, as we've been recording, Trump has been talking about our mayor situation.
Oh, good.
And he said, quote, "You have a good independent running, Mayor Adams, who's a very good person. I helped him out a little bit. He had a problem."
Yep.
Just criming, Dan.
Yeah. Just
Mayor Adams, he's going to keep running.
Yeah. Your November's going to be interesting, I think.
I can't use my phone. It's too hot from all the texts of everyone asking me for $15.
Yeah.
Anyway, otherwise things are great. I mean, Trump's just down in Florida now, just doing
Trump is in Florida, along with every other fuckwit except for J.D. Vance, who had to stick around to cast the fucking tie-breaking vote on this terrible goddamn budget. They're all down there to celebrate the opening of a concentration camp in the Everglades. Because this is where we are now. It's dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, which is an insult to alligators and to Alcatraz. It's a series of tents and cages designed to hold migrants built on an old airstrip in the Everglades. This new camp, I
just need to say fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Go on.
It was essentially erected last week. That's how fast they put it together. It's one of many that they want to build. in order to increase the velocity with which they can fucking snatch people off the streets. And this fucking budget bill are completely interconnected. Last night, in insisting that the bill had to pass, J.D. Vance did a little Twitter thing. One of which he said everything else, the CBO score, that's the Congressional Budget Office, which has said this thing is going to add, trillions to the debt. The proper baseline, which is a accounting maneuver that the Republicans are trying to pull in order to say that it doesn't cost as much as it does. The minutia of the Medicaid policy, by minutia, he means kicking a shit fucking ton of people off Medicaid. All of that stuff is immaterial compared to the ICE money and immigration enforcement provisions. So what the fucking vice president of the United States is basically saying is scrap the entire government, because the only thing that's important is that we reach terminal velocity in our people snatching. It's not great. It's not great.
I don't like it, Dan.
Which is apparently why I'm spending my sleep time at Goal On, a celebration of sport featuring Wayne Rooney.
I gotta start chanting Hail Marys. But I'll do it in German.
That's the best way. Look at that. Sounds just beautiful.
Je vous salue Marie, pleine de grâce. Le Seigneur est avec vous. Vous êtes bénie entre toutes les femmes.
I'm speaking in tongues now.
That's French. I can just do Hail Mary, Dad, over and over.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for a Catholic education.
It's I got that.
You got that.
I had to chant those things over and over every goddamn day.
There you go.
I had to learn about poor, forsaken Erica and Gisela and chant the Hail Mary.
Who are Erica and Gisela?
They were the people I learned about in my very first German dialogue, where I learned one of my very first vocabulary words, which was for forsaken.
The little one has been doing Duolingo for a very long time. I think he's at 800 plus days at this point, I believe.
Amazing job.
Somewhere in the 700 to 800. And he jumps around languages. He gets bored after a while, but
it's great though.
Yeah, it's super great. He has a kid's account. He started doing German. He did German for like over a year. And somehow in the kid's account of Duolingo, he now knows how to order beer and wine in German.
Yeah.
But things really took a turn when he started taking Spanish, where at one point he had a couple little lessons about assassinations. Like assassinito or whatever was one of the words. He's had, I think there was a whole thing about divorce. Like, it's just like, okay, y'all, maybe dial it back. Dial your kid's account back a little bit.
I think the Duolingo, the last stop before AI, is just a crying guy smoking at his desk. You want to learn German, kids? Okay, let me tell you about some stuff. You're going to need a drink for this. Because then I had to tell you about all the assassins.
Yeah.
My wife left me. Now all I got is this goddamn owl. So we're going to learn some German, kid, all right? Ich fühle mich verlassen. That means I feel forsaken. Schaust du in den Spiegel und fragst, wer bin ich und was wird aus mir? That means you ever look in the mirror and say, who am I? What will become of me?
Well, on that note, Says Who is made possible by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That's our Patreon, where hopefully getting back on the wagon this Sunday. You get a whole bonus episode. You get me and Maureen doing all this again. If you give it the $5 or $10 a month level, that $10 a month level also gets you a sticker in the mail. Because
I tell you about lesson 2?
Says Who Sticker Club. Yes.
Lesson 2 was about Hans, who wanted to go to the disco with Gisela and Erica, he just sat by the phone in his lederhosen, just staring at it and crying. And the reason he wasn't going is because Erica and Gisela were having a nervous breakdown, wandering the streets and crying, and then sitting in Erica's room and crying and staring into the mirror going, who am I and what will become of me? And just dreaming and crying. And poor Hans is sitting there going, will I ever go to disco?
Our theme music is performed by Ted Leo. Our logo was designed by Darth. You can contact us at sayswhopodcast.com on Blue Sky, at sayswho at omfg.town on Mastodon. You can always email it, hey, that's HEY at sayswhopodcast.com. Join the discussion on Facebook at /group/sayswhovians. Our Facebook group is moderated by Janice Dillard. Thank you, Janice. There's also the fan-run Discord server at tinyurl.com/sayswho. Discord, whatever you do, spread the word, subscribe, leave stars and reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever it is you listen. You can join us next Wednesday, July 9th, for our very next episode. And from my basement in Chicago, I am Dan Sinker.
Dan, he's now talking about deporting U.S. citizens.
Yeah, it's not great.
We also have a lot of bad people that have been here a long time. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too, if you want to know the truth. So yeah, we're talking about...
yeah, it's not good. None of it's good. Go on.
Listen, man, I got to deal with this demon castle. Such a weird little crocheted baby with a face. It's smaller than a pot holder. So weird. Look like a little crocheted weeble or something. Help me. Help me. Sewing is fun.
Sewing is fun.
I just got a dress. I need to stitch. It has a slit in the front. I don't like it. I'm like,
you can just get rid of it.
I got the machine out, baby.
Yeah.
As soon as my sewing machine, I'm going to go back to chalk and stitching and just go like, I sew. I was going to look. I'll be like, I made 400 pairs of curtains, motherfucker. Let's go put them up. Get the steamer out, baby. It's curtain time. Deep breath, everybody. We got this. We got this.
Yeah.
We don't got it, but we got each other.
We do got each other.
And with all together, that's how you get it. Not by a single person, not by any one of us.
True.
By all of us.
It's true. That's a good point. Why don't you maybe sign out now?
Bye! It's me, Maureen Johnson.
This has been Says Who. Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
I was saying bye.
Jesus. That was so loud.
Yep. It's designed to inspire. Want to rev you up, y'all. Feel good.